When did your family realize they didn't need to protect you anymore? My brother Bruce literally brought an inflatable unicorn pool float to our family beach reunion for me to use because he thought I was still terrified of water. After nearly dying in a neighbor's pool at age 5, I was constantly terrified of drowning. And since then, every family vacation involved my parents bribing me to put my toes in the water while my 3 older brothers surfed. Even now, Bruce brings up how I wore a life jacket in the hotel hot tub until I was 16. The teasing got to be too much for me, and so I've kept my distance from my family for all but holidays and birthdays for the past few years. Last summer at my grandmother's 85th birthday changed everything. She'd rented this beach house for the entire extended family. During breakfast, my aunt presented me with children's arm floaties she'd bought as a joke. Just in case a big wave comes, she said while everyone took photos. Bruce grabbed them and tried shoving them on my arms. Safety first for our little scaredy cat, he announced to relatives filming on their phones. At the beach, my mom held my hand walking across the sand. Dad steered me toward the umbrellas while everyone else grabbed paddleboards. You can be the official photographer, he said, putting a plastic dolphin whistle around my neck. If anyone needs help, you blow this really loud. I sat next to my 87-year-old great aunt while relatives treated me like the beach's Make-A-Wish kid. My cousin's wife asked if I had a medical condition. She's terrified of anything deeper than a puddle, my mom explained while my aunt added, we used to blow dry her tears after bath time because even those had too much water. An hour later, Bruce decided to show off for some girl he'd met. He stood on his board shouting, watch this. Unlike my sister, I'm not scared of water, before paddling out further than everyone else. I watched him drift left with the current. Red flags were stiff in the wind, but nobody noticed. Then he threw his arms up and slipped off his board. At first, everyone thought he was playing, but I could see his head barely breaking the surface between waves. He was caught in a riptide. Bruce is in trouble, I said standing, but Dad laughed. He's been surfing since before you were born. Bruce's head disappeared and came up gasping further out. His board was 20 feet away being pushed toward shore without him. Dad, he's caught in a rip, I said louder, but he was talking football with my uncle. Bruce went under and didn't come up for 10 seconds. 15, 20. I stripped off my sundress and sprinted toward the water while my mother screamed. My aunt shouted, somebody stop her, she can't swim. But I was already diving under the first wave with perfect form. I swam into the rip current using its power to reach where I'd last seen him. My family screamed as I disappeared beneath the surface and found Bruce 6 feet down with eyes closed and body limp. Getting him up took 3 seconds. He wasn't breathing. I locked my arm across his chest in a cross-chest carry and swam parallel to shore, escaping the rip while keeping his airway clear. The water temperature was dropping into a thermal layer, meaning hypothermia would set in fast. Once out of the current, I turned toward shore, swimming hard against waves, doing rescue breathing between strokes. Bruce coughed up seawater but stayed unconscious. When I could touch bottom, I lifted him in a fireman's carry, walking through breakers like he weighed nothing. My family stood frozen as I laid him on sand and started CPR. Call 911, I barked at my father. Now! Bruce coughed up water and his eyes opened as his pulse returned. Don't sit up, I told him, checking his pupils. You were without oxygen for 90 seconds. My mother dropped to her knees. How did you? You're afraid of water, she whispered. My aunt still held those arm floaties. I'm a Coast Guard aviation survival technician, I said, monitoring Bruce's breathing. I've been rescuing people from the ocean for 4 years. Over 300 saves. Dad made a choking sound. They call us rescue swimmers. I jump out of helicopters into 20-foot seas. Bruce tried speaking but coughed again. I turned him on his side while he threw up seawater. Last month I got a medal for swimming 2 miles in storm conditions, I continued as EMTs ran down the beach. One recognized me. You're the swimmer who did that insane hurricane rescue when winds were too strong to pull anyone up, he said. Had to tow 6 people through 30-foot waves. My family stood silent while they loaded Bruce onto a stretcher.